Hi all, it's David Semach from Agile Quality Blog, and in this video I'm going to show you what will happen if we can't actually find the elements that we are looking for and how we can handle this scenario due to the fact that when an exception is thrown, uh, it will break the selector, which won't allow Selenium to find the element. And if we don't handle it as expected, the application will break and we will not be able to continue. So before we start, uh, this is me and my connection details. Feel free to contact me for any question. Uh, and let's start to see the actual code now to handle the exception. So before we start, I will copy the mandatory part of the Selenium code. So we create a driver, second row. In the second row, we navigate to my blog and we maximize the window. So this is very simple code, uh, uh, but you need it prior we can start. So the second thing that I want to do is to define an element. Okay, little bit slow, but let's give it a few seconds. Okay, and now I'm going to create three different strings. The first string that I'm going to create will be named block tab. We will get the selector ID in a second. And now I'm going to create an additional strings that we will use in this code for the example. Let's call it something like element to select one. Okay, and let's do it again. Okay, so we have three different strings that I want to get their CSS selector. So let's open Firefox blog. We'll use the CSS selector. Let's do inspect. Here it is. So let's take it, copy CSS selector. There is nothing new. I already showed it in my previous videos. Okay, this is the first one. And just for the example of the code, after I'm logging to the blog, I want to access to the C# tutorial section. Let's take the CSS selector from here also. CSS path. Oh, sorry, I want only the selector itself. CSS selector. Let's define it here. Okay, and the second element that I want to use is, let's see, C# the Selenium automation course. So let's take it from here, copy CSS selector. Okay, so we defined the CSS selectors. Now what I'm going to do is to initialize the element by .css selector, and let's put it just the string. Okay, so we have it. And the second thing that I'm going to do is to check if the element is available. So let's do it here. Element dot displayed. If the element is displayed, um, let's simply click on it. So it will be element dot click, And after the click, as you know, just to avoid delays that will break our code, I will add a thread sleep part for 7 seconds. Okay, here it is. Let's see if I need another thing here. So no, okay, this is our code. So the first thing that we are going to do is to access the block tab. Okay, here it is. And if we run this code, we will be open my blog and navigate to the blog tab. And in addition to it, I want to duplicate this code and let's put it here and let's here. This is just the the basic scenario of the application. As you will see in a second, I just want to show you what will happen if we will run this code. Let's see. Okay, nothing interesting. Okay, let's run it. So by running this code, we will navigate to the blog and then we will select the first element and then the second one. So this is just to show you, to demonstrate how the code will run without any issues in the element identification. Let's see. So now we open the blog. In a second, we will maximize the window. Okay, here it is. Now the blog section will be opened. And we will wait 7 seconds just to give the browser to launch. Okay, here it is. Now we are on the C# tutorial section. This is the first element, 7 seconds, and now we will be addressed to the second element, to the Selenium course. Here it is. So this is the application without any issues. But what will happen if I will break the selector? So instead of using a good ID, I will do something like this, fault. So in this case, the element, the driver will not be able to locate this element. Let's run it and check it out. So the first code will run without any issues. Uh, the navigation will succeed, maximize the window will succeed without any problem. Uh, we will find the blog tab, but we will fail the second call to the second element. Let's see it now. Okay, and now the driver will fail because it cannot find the element. We will see it in a few seconds. Okay, let's check the code. Let me check it now. Okay, the element displayed. We click on it. Element to select. Okay, fault. Okay, let's see it now. Interesting. Let's run it again. Okay, element select. Okay, fault. element to select. Let me check it. Okay, it should fail now. Okay, element driver. Let's check it again. Okay, as you can see now, the application will fail to access the C# tutorial because it cannot find the element. And if we will check it here, we will see that unhandled exception, OpenQS Selenium, unable to locate element. So this is the error that we are searching for. Um, there it is. So in this case, you must understand that if we have an additional code after the failed element, so let's see, the first part of the code is succeed because we succeed to access the blog. So this is okay. If we fail here, uh, as you can see, the application will fail to continue to run. So this part of code will not run. So this is not good for us. So it is important that you will be able to handle no such element errors in your code because otherwise it will not allow you to continue your code execution. And in real world environment, it's simply waste of time. So let's handle it. So what can we do? So let's close this. Okay, it will take a few seconds. So it's actually very, very simple. So let's take the if statement here and simply surround it with try catch. Okay, here it is. But if you run it now, the code will fail again because the element is outside of the try catch block. So we need to add it over here. There it is. As you can see now, we don't have any errors. And instead of using exception, we simply can use no such element exception. And let's do something like, instead of just throwing an error, let's do something control right line, test fail, element not available. Okay, it's something like this. And we will do it again here and again here. Just let's change it with 2. Okay. Yes, of course. Okay, this part of code is okay. Let's delete all of this code. And let's simply copy the code. Okay, this is the first one, first element, succeed. Okay, this is what will happen when we will run the code. To show this example and now the code will continue to run, we will fail the second call to validate that the third call, the element to select number two, will succeed. Uh, um, and the failure to find the second element will not impact the other code that will supposed to run afterwards. So let's put it here, second element failure, and we can simply copy this code here. Okay, and the most important thing to show the third element success. So now we will use the element to select here. This code will fail, and let's do it again, and now we will use the second element. So in this case, what will be happen? We will access the blog and we will succeed. So let's create another. Let's print it. Um, let's okay. Let's do it. Okay, let's just keep it simple. Okay. Let me check if we have another interesting thing to show you here. No. So we will run the code, and as you will see, we will fail here in this part, but we will succeed to run uh, the first code and third code. Okay, let's do it now. Let's run it. Okay, first thing, we will access the blog. It takes a while. My computer is very slow, but it's working. So now driver will try to find the C# tutorial tab, and it will fail. And as you can see now, we continue the code execution and navigate to the third element. So if we will open the code here, so we will see that uh, the code succeed to run, and after the failure, the application continued to run without any real issues. So this is the example that I want you to see. Um, if if you don't handle no such exceptions, your code will not be able to run. And in the real world environment, this is crucial that you will understand that without handle the no such element exceptions, you will find it very, very difficult to create and stabilize your automation framework. So this is all for now. Please subscribe to my blog to get more great videos. Thank